Welcome to Hair Up, Bra Off podcast. We're here to be your new comfort fix with unfiltered conversations on random topics and gossip. As two women in their 30s, Kathryn, who's been chronically single, and Sue, who is happily married with 2 cats. So take your bra off, throw your hair up, and let's get into it. And men, if you're listening, take notes. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the best show ever, to the most exciting show, Hair Up, Bra Off. And in today's episode, I thought we can dive in to different examples of best friends and kind of look back at maybe examples of what a best friend is and how that changes throughout time and life. And a great example I like to say, which has kind of got me started into this topic, was I remember when I was in college, I would binge watch Sex and the City. We didn't have streaming service yet, and my roommate had the whole collection. So I would stay in and just watch every single episode. And I used to think Carrie was the it girl. She had the shoes, had the apartment, had the friend. She was, the ideal best friend to have. She was, curly hair girls. And then as I've gone older and I rewatch it, I start realizing, wow, Carrie is kind of a horrible friend.
Yeah.
A horrible best friend. And you kind of start seeing that more and more because we're watching the show now at their age that they're in the show.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And it made me realize the different perspective you have with people and kind of looking at it in a different light. So I don't know. You've seen Sex and the City?
I think for her, she is very self-centered.
Yes.
She usually is, I always deviate, but I think she's a taker. And I think there's a book that talks about givers and takers that say that you can either be a giver or a taker. Like you're one of the two. You can't be both. And I think she's a taker because she continues to just like take the attention when it suits her, take the friends' times when it's convenient for her.
Yep.
And, just doesn't really give much or sacrifice much for her friends, to be honest. It's all just conveniently phased out for her. Like if she's single, she's like, okay, I'm gonna hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
She's a man, she's like, well, fuck my friends. I'm gonna go live somewhere else and fucking stay in with my mans. And then she gets her heart broken. She's like, I need to like go away with my friends. It's like you never really prioritize them. You were just there because they were like helping you all the time. So yeah.
More
I think that
convenient
she's kind of a shitty
out of
friend.
anything.
Yeah.
And I
And I
also
think
found, when rewatching it, I just found that she's also very judgmental, even
That's
though
true.
she's really not in a place to be that judgmental.
even though she's a whore.
Yes, but she's just very judgmental. If it doesn't affect her, then she'll look at you differently. Or
Yeah.
like I remember there was this episode where Samantha's a great example of what a great best friend is. And that's someone who doesn't judge, who's always willing to help out and knows how to get things done. And there was an episode where she gives head to the delivery guy and Carrie walks in on her. And it becomes this thing where Samantha's like, you're judging me. You're acting different because of what I did. And Carrie's like, yeah, I am judging you, like towards the end of the episode. And it kind of solidifies just how Carrie is as far as, for her, she writes about sex. And if it's her sex, it doesn't matter. But once her friend, who mind you is an amazing friend, who's always helped her, even Samantha's career, she intertwined to help Carrie, being her publicist and always put her forward. And then the least thing that Samantha was asking is just don't be judgmental, know? And she couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think that friendship is an interesting thing that, to your point, like changes through the years, but you also kind of have to align as to what your friendship principles are. Because I think some people are fine with like lacking certain qualities if they can make up for them somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Of course. No one's perfect.
Like I think that, for example, in my case, I would prioritize like someone that it's non-judgmental to.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't really care if they're on time or if they like not show up to something sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't be perfect. Some things are just gonna be you're just gonna have to get used to the thing that they're good at. But they have to sacrifice. I think they have to show that they care. Yeah. But That was all I was gonna say. I feel like you just have to choose what you need from your friend and then stick to that, and then kind of like let go of the other things that don't matter to you as much.
Well, I just think it's as we get older and like as you get older, you start realizing you really have to be more understanding and take note into how a friendship can evolve and what it means and what it takes to maintain it and what you get it. You
I
just
get
get
it.
it.
You also
Mm.
can't let things like bother you as much because
Mhm.
we're all because I heard about this. I think maybe it's in the Good Hang podcast with
Mhm.
Amy Poehler, but she was talking about how now that they're like older ladies, because I think she's in like her 50s or
Mhm.
60s.
I think no, not
Everyone
60s. 50s, I
Definitely
think. Early
50s. Yeah.
50s,
I
early.
think early 50s. Everyone has like their thing. Like
Mhm.
the annoying thing that they had became like more exaggerated, if that makes
Mhm.
sense, into their like 50s. So it's like that's their thing now and that's like their annoying thing. So you just have to like understand that that's going to be their annoying thing that they do.
Yes. Yes, and I also think it's as you get older and you really start to get to know someone and you see that's who they are, you kind of just bring it in, you know? You cheer it on because what
Right
else
on.
are we going to do, you
Yeah.
know?
It's like you can't sleep through the night. You know what I mean?
I know.
That's just your thing. That's just your thing. I'm just going to have to put up with it.
Not only that, but I make a lot of noises. Like, Sue
Yeah.
and I were just on a trip in Denver, and that's why she's bringing it up. Like, when I go to, like, pour a glass of juice or when I'm just walking around a shopping center and I look at something, I'll be like, "Oh." When I'm doing my hair, I'm like, I don't even realize it until, like,
Noise is
someone tells
constant.
me or or I see it, like, in a video and I'm like, "Oh my god.
Yeah. That
Praise be
doesn't
Lord."
bother me at all, by the way. It's just if it happens at 3 in the morning,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
1 PM at the shopping center,
Ye
it's fine.
I expect it now. I expect it,
Yeah.
okay?
3 in the morning next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different.
I guess that's
It's
all.
like my cats. They're so cute. Like, I cuddle with them all the time. They get on my chest. Cute. 3 in the morning, though,
Yep, boundaries,
boundaries, you know?
boundaries. I think that's another thing as you get older and you look at your friendships, you start oh, okay, this is what I'm saying. It's so as, you have a friendship with someone, it's also acknowledging your own faults and being
Mhm.
self-aware. I think that's what
Yeah,
ruins so many friendships, especially as we get older, is people are not self-aware.
it's true. Facts.
Once it comes forward, especially as you get older, you'll start seeing it more and more
Yeah,
that it can destroy a friendship if
100%.
people aren't like, "Okay, I get it," you know?
Yeah, and it's very cheap to say, "I'm sorry."
Yes.
So much
Yes.
easier to try to, like, argue your point, you know? Someone doesn't
Mhm.
see it, you can just be like, "I'm sorry," which is
And not
true.
even that I'm sorry, but just have an understanding how your actions can make someone feel. Like, for
Right.
example, when I toss and turn in my sleep, and I know that it makes it difficult for someone else to share bed with me and the noises that I make. I would never be like, "Oh, well, that's all you. I'm just being me. I can't believe you would say that. That's so mean. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to sleep too. I'm a human and now you're demoralizing me." Like,
Yeah.
ugh. Like they make it more into this like it's bad that you have these
Personal
quirks.
attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
personal. There
exactly.
you go.
Yeah,
Personal.
yeah, when it's just how you were perceived, I guess, by someone
Mhm.
else. But then, it's also, like, patience, right? Because then I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
there's other days. I'll sleep another t
Compromise, baby, compromise.
I was like, as soon as I get into that new house, I'm gonna
Mm.
find the farthest room away from wherever Kat is sleeping.
So to put this in retrospect, the first night we got to Denver, we shared a hotel room and we shared a bed. And Sue learned firsthand just how active I can be at night when it comes to tossing and turning. And so the next day we got an Airbnb where everyone will have their own separate beds. And so Sue knew as long as she survived that one night, she'll see the other side. It will be good.
Right,
Hashtag compromise.
exactly. And I was like, patience for sure.
And it's the fact that I accept that, I understand that. I think sleep is important, and I think what you're saying is 100% valid. Even when we got to the Airbnb, our other friend who had a room, there was, like, an issue, and so I had the room with bunk beds, and they're like, "Oh, you can sleep with Kat," and everyone's like, "Well, I don't know which one will be worse, Kat or that loud room," and I was like, "Facts. Absolutely true." Because you would just have to accept it. I think that's the other thing is being self-aware and people accepting certain things, different
Yeah,
aspects.
inconveniences, exactly that. Like, it didn't matter if how uncomfortable we were because it's like a short period of time anyway, you know what I mean? And I don't think people see
Yeah.
like the bigger picture. I think we all understood that in that group. Like we were like, okay, this is a short thing.
Yeah.
It's like even if it's like not great, it's like 2, 3 nights max, you know, even though with
Mhm.
the storm, I guess it became
Oh,
more
yeah.
nights.
Mhm.
But it's just like a matter of like thinking through it and being like, I'll
Mhm.
be fine at the end of the day.
But and the other part is though is being able to talk about it and each person being self-aware that even if it was a long period of time, we could work through it.
Older.
As you get older, being self-aware and accepting things and compromise, it sounds like it's easy, but I think it definitely shifts. And I hate to say this also comes into play with politics. I think that kind of shapes a friendship
That's true.
as adults, like again, as you get older, your priorities change. What you see that's important
Yeah.
shifts. And
Yeah.
if you're not self-aware of those changes yourself and within your
Yeah.
friendship, then it can
Yeah.
really destroy the dynamic, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah, that's
something
true.
I think Carrie from Sex and the City failed at is she was not self-aware. And
Hmm.
so she never realized her own faults. And so she can never fix it.
Yeah.
So
My cat is like trying to eat something. I think self awareness is the number one key for
mhm.
anything. Not even friendships, but like work, you know,
Yeah.
relationships with your partner, with your family. And I think that we have a good group, like the group that went to Denver. I think we can all be like, you
Yeah.
know, sometimes like we all like self reflect. I think that we can be like more not critical, but I think we both are like, okay, we're all like, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I need to like change it. Or if like somebody
Mhm.
points something out, you're like, okay, I'm gonna like slow down here. I think that's healthy, you know, but not a lot of people
Yeah.
are like that. And the worst part is the people that are not go through life having like a lot of different rounds of friends, you know,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
don't care enough about them to tell them that they need to change something, and then they just
Mhm.
continue to be that way forever. So it's kind of um really bad luck for those people because I think that
Mhm.
they end up with like no one ever telling them that they need to change something and
Yeah.
them never knowing what they need. And they really it's just like a self-awareness thing, you know?
Yeah. And I also say that the people who aren't self-aware, I think tend to focus on the least important aspects of
That's
friendships.
true.
For example, they'll be more focused on having fun. They're more about
Yeah.
going out, getting drunk, and doing more environmental things,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And that's
That's why
kind
I
of
gotta
like how
watch
we
out
were.
because that sounds fun to me, you know? So
Yeah.
then I'm like, what?
But I'm saying is like as you get older, you start realizing the relationship expands outside just the focus of having
Oh,
fun,
totally.
you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
that's the
That's why
main
I
part to
think, I
take
mean, like in
away.
college, yeah, I think in college we could just make easy friends because everything was the same.
Yeah.
Like all you had to do was just find the next person to drink with.
Mhm.
And that was literally it.
Yep.
Nobody even knew what anybody stood for. It
Yep.
was just how much you can drink and where you like drinking.
Mhm.
And those relationships, I think, like you get lucky if you find people that are similar to you, like values wise or like
Yeah.
priorities wise, because yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's all we cared about back then.
And if you think about it, when we were younger, even if someone had like a bad flaw, we would black out and forget about it the next day and we were friends again. You know what I mean?
That's
It was
true.
just like this cycle of, oh, I
Yeah.
forgot. Oh, I never noticed he was like that or she was like that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I had no idea. And
Yeah.
it's like you look
I had
back and
no idea.
I had no idea that she was such a racist. That's crazy. And you look back to when you're drinking,
But
she
we
was
really
saying
did
something.
not though.
Yeah.
We're finding out right now about
Hmm.
people.
Yeah.
It's
And again,
crazy.
and I think that's the shift in dynamic. And I think that's the other lens that I now see, like Carrie from Sex and the City, how I see it differently now. You know, it
Yeah.
isn't just like
Yeah.
fun or haha, how many shoes does she have or where's big? It's like, oh no, she's just like a really
Yeah.
bad friend.
She
You
and
know,
you know what's annoying about her too? We're like
tell me,
trashing Carrie, but
tell me, I
she
love it.
never really like stood for anything. She didn't have any like convictions, which
Yeah.
is like so
Besides,
annoying. She was just like a
besides
blah.
besides sex, which mind you,
Right.
she would then judge people on, which
Yeah.
is like, okay, so I'm not understanding. I'm not putting two and two, unless it was like little baby Margaret, unless it was
Yeah.
like good material for her and her writing, it almost looked like a inconvenience,
Yeah.
you know?
And she never focused on any real issues. She wouldn't stand up for women. She wasn't like, oh, like
No, no,
gay
no, no, no,
rights,
no, no,
like
no.
nothing. She's
I
one of
need to,
those like just annoying people that it's just like friends with the flow or whatever.
I have the number one thing that I absolutely hate about Carrie. Absolutely. And I need Margaret to hear this too. So if you can share the headphones, that would be
Margaret, you're a
great.
girl. You're a girl,
Yeah. No,
Margaret.
she's a woman too.
Oh
She
yeah,
is
she's a
a
woman.
woman. Okay.
You're
But
right.
so
Women's retreat.
in the first Sex and the City movie, when Miranda is going through a divorce and they're all at, I think, the reception dinner before the wedding for Carrie and Big, Miranda's there by herself and Steve comes in the middle of it. And him and Miranda have this like heated thing. They're obviously going through something, a divorce. And at the party, Miranda tells Big, "Oh, you should never get married. It's not worth
Mm-hmm.
it." Something along
Yeah,
the
I
lines.
remember that. Yeah.
And anyways, of course, then the next day, Big decides to like chicken out.
Which is totally his fault.
Yeah, 100%. But then what
Like, you're
got me,
telling me that you heard one thing. A homeless person in New York can yell anything at you.
and this is what made me realize Carrie is not only annoying, but a horrible friend. Because when Miranda finally came out and told her that story, Carrie was furious with her. Carrie's like, I can't believe you did that. You never told me. I sat here thinking it was me, that I did something. I said something, but it was you. You're a horrible friend. Da da da. And I'm thinking, I'm sorry. That was your man, and
Yeah.
your man reacted to something your friend said. Mind you, she was going through something difficult. So it's
Yeah.
not like she said it out of the blue. She was happy go lucky and she just wanted to
Yeah.
ruin your time. No, your friend was going through a divorce. She has a
Yeah.
child, and the man came in the mix of your party. So her emotions were everywhere. Can you blame her? But of course you can, because then you yelled at her at the Valentine's Day dance saying that it was all her fault that Big decided not to get out of the cab or limo or whatever and marry you. Like, blame the woman.
Yeah. How fragile.
Are
How
you kidding
fragile
me?
must must he be? You know, that like one little comment
Right? And
changes his whole decision making.
of course, if my friend told me that, I'd be like, okay,
What's
that
this?
probably didn't help, and I'm glad you told me because now I have a better understanding. But it's 100% his fault.
Totally.
Because why
That's how
would
I'd
that
be.
matter?
That's how I'd
Why
be.
would that matter?
Yeah.
So, and I always hated that because she put Miranda through hell during that time.
Yeah.
She made it seem as if Miranda killed her dog. Like, that's
Yeah.
how much Carrie felt for that insignificant matter. Mind you, she's not worried about Miranda and her going through a divorce and asking her how she's doing. You know, being alone, a single mom. No, 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 no. We're going to talk about how your fiance couldn't get out of the limo. Okay, got
Yeah.
you.
No, I mean, there are so many examples of how bad the character was, I guess, or
Yeah.
even her as a person. But because, yeah, normal people, normal friendship would just be like, okay, yeah, I guess it wasn't helpful, but it's not your fault. It's like a 40-plus-year-old man that was married, what, 3 or 4
Right?
times or something? Like,
He
that's
married a
crazy.
26-year-old. I'm sorry. Am I seeing this right? And you know what the worst part is enough time went on that they were able to sit with that original character and Sex and the City and the movies. And they
Mm-hmm.
decided to bring it back
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with the reboot. And I was thinking, okay.
No, you're right. You're right. They did have enough time to think through
Years, decades to
all the
finally
mistakes.
realize that maybe we should leave this one behind, you know?
Yeah.
But then again, I guess it's great because we still have more examples. I haven't seen the series. I probably won't. But if I ever need an example of a bad friend, I know I can tune into that show.
Yeah,
So,
don't they have like they have a redo now, like they have it's called
oh no, yeah. And just like that.
yeah.
And just
Have
like
you
that.
seen any episodes?
No.
Yeah,
They
I don't think
once I learned that Big died, I was like, all of those years of that bullshit. And now you're telling me he died on a Peloton? I'm sorry. They haven't learned their lesson. They have not.
yeah, it's not
20-year-old
great.
me, okay, I probably would have saw it, who cares? But like
Yeah.
30-year-old me, I'm like, I can't. I'm done.
Yeah, terrible, terrible. I
And
think he dies on the
Samantha.
first episode or something.
And Samantha, who is the example of the greatest friend, is not even in it. So of course Carrie's flaws are
Yeah.
just gonna show more. I can't
Yeah.
the Carrie hate runs deep in my veins. I can't handle it, you
Yeah.
know? And
And
Samantha,
it's
always good friend.
the worst. Hate when you start realizing on your own how terrible somebody is. Like it builds up over time, and then it just makes you
Yep.
be like even more angry that you ever thought they were cool. So I get
And
that.
that was
I
a
get the
lot
feeling.
of years of thinking she was cool. And let me just say, Samantha, who was very promiscuous and was, wait, She's very promiscuous. She was very open about not wanting kids. She's selfish. She is all about herself because she loves herself. She appreciates herself. And she doesn't even really like kids, you know? But I'll never forget the episode when Miranda had just had her child and Samantha had a hair appointment with this really good stylist who you can never get an appointment. And Samantha, who, mind you, hates kids, decided to give Miranda not only that appointment, she showed up at her apartment and said, I'll give you the appointment and you go, and I'm going to watch your baby.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Carrie, I forgot that you didn't knock at the door to help me take care of my child or help me babysit.
Yeah.
But you're judging Samantha because she gave head to the delivery driver when she's the one that's actually friend, shows up, gives the appointment, and babysits. I'm judging you, bitch.
Yeah. It's just more thoughtful.
You.
She's also the one that like is always flying from LA back to New York. Like the one visiting her. So she's like taking time and like, you know, money to visit her friends. So it's like very thoughtful. Yeah.
Yep. And that's why I always say you can never judge someone based on what society would think a woman should be or how they should act, because
that's exactly what it is. I was gonna say that exact same thing. Is I think because she wouldn't like conform to what society wanted her to be. She was made to be sort of like devilish or whatever, and then Carrie was more that like that. So it was more of like an example to follow. Like you should be scared of what others might think of you, sort of thing, and then judge other people. And so maybe that's why in like a younger mind you're like, oh yeah, that's what I should be. But then as you get older you're like, oh, that was like actually the complete opposite model. Yeah. So get it.
Samantha's such a greater friend. And yeah, Carrie was just a shit friend. And then she wasn't coming back. It's a whole thing. But yeah, the worst.
I think this was just primarily like a Carrie hating episode at this point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, this could go on for a series. I can be here all day, people. Don't worry. I have nothing to do tonight. Let's continue on. No, I'm just kidding.
And I've done my hair.
Are you kidding me?
This is the best that I've seen your hair.
Wow, thanks. I needed to hear that because I was so ready to have my hair ready in Denver. When it didn't happen, like it got greasy.
Yeah, what happened? Why didn't you do it?
No, I did do it. The day before I did my hair care routine, I was ready to the thing is, before I style it, especially on the plane, I have to put it in a bun. And usually by the time I get to the place, I can just take it down and it looks fine. Like I've done it plenty of times. But for some reason, when I got to Denver, my hair just got greasy. And at that point, I just wouldn't have had time to do it. So my hair just stayed up. I need to get a wig. Fuck it. At this point, I want a wig. I don't care.
Screw it.
Shave my hair, wig it out.
Very hard to take care of the curly.
Yeah, no, I've had both straight and curly hair, and when I tell you I now have this newfound hatred towards people who have straight, long, Hispanic, Peruvian, more likely hair, and are right now near a microphone, it's like it's internalized in me, and I hate it. Hate it. I see, oh my God, it was so crazy on the trip. You guys were just like washing and blow drying your hair. I watched you blow dry your hair like 3 or 4 times, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God. I would have to bring my diffuser. I would have to air dry for like 2 hours. And then, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So
what if you just blow dry it? Can you just try blow drying it?
What do you mean blow drying it?
Like just what I use. Can you just do that?
Like well, then my hair will fall out because my curly hair tends to be more drying. And so if you treat it like straight hair, it's just going to end up breaking and not being at its healthiest. But I will say the good thing about curly hair is it does make my hair look more fuller. And that's kind of why I lean so much into it. Because now when my hair's straight, I just feel like it looks so thin compared to when it's curly.
Yeah. Because I remember when we were in college, you used to do your hair straight, long.
Yeah. But those were extensions because my hair was falling out.
See, the unrealistic beauty standards started with us in college.
My hair extensions. But that back then it wasn't even a beauty standard because all I would have to do is put in hair extensions. Cool. And I would look my best. I could literally lather my body in Purell and hand sanitizer and I would still look amazing. I would still look like I had a dewy glow because the youthfulness. Now it's like hair extensions, body oil. You have to drink water, you have to sleep. It's like, God, I can't.
That's what I've been drinking.
I can't see it. There we go. Okay, water break. But anyways, the last best friend that I also want to mention, because I know how much you love crime and murder and torture.
Which one?
You know about Chris Watts? Chris Watts. The one that killed his wife and 2 kids?
Yes, I do. And put them and threw them in like a chute or something.
Like I think it was an oil barrel, like
Yeah, an
somewhere
oil
where he
barrel.
worked.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I saw this YouTube video where Shannon, the wife's name was Shannon, her best friend knew instantly that something was off
Mm.
when she couldn't get a hold of Shannon. And it got to the point that she even went to her house and she immediately noticed things that weren't adding up. Instead of just being like, okay, let me just kind of forget about it, her friend stood her ground, especially because she knew Shannon was pregnant, that her, what's it called? What do you call that thing? Her radar was more,
Radar.
she was
And
more
wasn't she
aware.
supposed to drive her to like an appointment, I think that day? That's what happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she was supposed to drive her to appointment. When she got to the house, she wasn't answering. She saw that her car was in the garage. She even noticed, I believe, that she saw through the window at the front door that her shoes were still at the front of the house, meaning that she hadn't
Mhm.
even left. And before Chris could come back and clean up his tracks, her friend was already called the police to get over here and check on our friend, who, mind you, maybe she hadn't heard from, a few hours, but
Yeah.
instantly she knew something was wrong, called the police. The police got there. They all went inside the house, and the friend knew where to look. For example, she saw that her meds were still in her bag. Her bag was still there. She noticed that her phone was still there. All these things that Chris wasn't able to hide or make disappear to make it seem as if she ran away. No, her good friend stood on business, got to the house, realized all these things that she would not be without are still there, and made it a point to show how strange it was that she was gone without all these
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
and she really advocated for Shannon's well-being.
Yeah. It's definitely a good friend. For sure.
And it's so, if you see the video online, it's almost heartbreaking because her friend already knows.
Yeah.
Just based off when they get into the house and she sees how everything is presented. Her pills are in her bag. Her shoes are there. She missed her appointment. And if it wasn't for her friend, I honestly do think he may have gone away with it.
Yeah. I saw the
Because
videos when she talks to the cops because they get there and she's like, I checked and
Mhm,
like yada yada. Yeah. I think that you want a friend like that. Definitely somebody that's like gonna
yeah.
check on you. Like, what's going on? I haven't heard from you in like 3 hours. I think it was really
Mhm.
fast too. It was like the same
Oh,
day.
yeah. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have time to do anything. And
He did not plan for the friend getting
mhm.
into the house. Yeah, that was for sure.
I mean, at the house, basically already scoping out through the window that the shoes were there. I mean, I was taking notes. I'm like, let me make sure for future, no future, but just to be more self aware. And it's like, that's what you want in a friend, especially as you get older, is to advocate for you when you're not there
Yes.
because you never know what could happen.
Totally.
And that's insane to me still that she just
That's a good
knew.
friend. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's an example of a really good friend that is also very aware
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah.
Complete opposite of Carrie. Carrie would have never known.
Oh my god, are you kidding? She probably forgot where Miranda lived. She probably doesn't even remember her child's name. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? She probably is still crying over the fact that Big died on a Peloton.
Yeah.
So, every time she sees a bike, she cries. That's her new thing. That's what the show is all about. Her
Yeah.
overcoming her fears of bikes and exercise. And in the mix, somehow there's sex. I have no idea, but I don't need to see it. I already know what it's about. So,
No, exactly. Don't watch it. It's a protest.
yes. In a world of Carrie's, be Shannon's best friend.
Shannon's best friend.
I forgot what her
You
name
need to
was.
find out her name.
Yeah, let me
She
just.
deserves it.
And it's almost like if you haven't watched it, I almost implore you to go into YouTube and look up the video of how her friend was still on top of it.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, and it's really impressive.
Nicole.
Oh, okay.
Nicole is her name. And again, just so telling. And I love watching that video because you can see the fear in the
Mhm.
husband's face.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I know. I've
see
seen
it.
it.
It
He's
is
just like, what?
palpable.
Somebody's looking for my wife and my kids. Crazy.
Oh wow, her purse is still here. I didn't even know she had a purse.
Literally, her
Medication.
pills, her phone, her shoes.
She never wore shoes from my, recollection. That's, she's probably on the beach in Florida. She's fine, guys. She's good.
Oh my god, I know. I think that's, like, the advice, though. It's, like, just be aware, have a good friend, and make
Hmm.
sure that you, tell people what you're doing all the time, and have a
Well,
friend to go
find my
check on you.
friend. Don't worry. I'm watching you at all times. I'm your guardian
You'll help me
angel.
from all the way in Florida. You got my
Hmm.
back from all the way
Uh-huh.
over here.
From all the way over here. I make sure to see where everyone is at. That's like my new, because again, I don't have social media, so my social media is following the dot. So don't even tell me where you're at. I know where you are.
I
Don't
know.
worry.
I was thinking about it when I was at the gym today. I was like, "She's probably gonna check and see if I'm at the Equinox," which I was.
Oh, I didn't. I know I can see the address, but knowing exactly what building, that's too much work. As long as I see her
Okay.
moving, I know we're good. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'm like, at
Yeah.
least I know she's moving. She's not standing still. She she's not hanging out with Carrie, so we're fine. You
Yeah.
know?
Standing still is concerning always. Keep on
Yeah.
moving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's a good place to end.
Thank you so much for being with us. And tell your friends, men, or enemies, we're not picky. Follow Hair Up, Bra Off everywhere you scroll. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.